So we've got some other information here for you. It says the real number zeros are the x-intercepts, okay? And that means if we were to graph the function, the zeros are the places where the actual graph crosses the x-axis, okay? And then just we're letting you know that a zero, there's another name for zero, which is a root, okay? And we can also call it a solution of the equation. So all of this, good information. Let's continue here. This says use synthetic division to determine if 4 is a factor. Okay. Well, based on what the remainder theorem just told us, if we use synthetic division and get a remainder of 0, then 4 is a factor. So let's try it. Okay. So we're going to use 4, and we're going to use synthetic division. But look what's happening here. We have 3x cubed. Then we have 2x squared. We're missing an x term. Right? We're missing a term. I don't know if you remember this from polynomial long division. You probably do. And it turns out that we need to just put 0 in there, 0x, to leave room. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to put a 3 for the 3x cubed. We're going to put a -2 for negative 2x squared. We're going to put a 0 for that missing x term, and then we're going to put -150. That's the same thing we used to do with polynomial long division, so you should be familiar with that. Here we go. Are you ready? Okay. We bring down the 3. We multiply by 4. We get 12. We simply add. 12 minus 2 is 10. We multiply again. This is 40. Okay. 0 plus 40 is 40. 4 times 40 is 160. And 160 minus 150 is 10. So we get a remainder of 10. And that means, and this isn't true, this should say 0. We're trying to find out if 4 is a 0, and that's the same thing as saying that x minus 4 is a factor. Okay, so those two things they mean the same thing. If 4 is a 0, then x minus 4 is a factor. And it turns out it's not, because look, we have a remainder of 10. Okay. I'm going to check this out really quickly, make sure we didn't make a mistake. We have 3, -2, 0, -150. We're dividing by 4. Bring down the 3. 3 times 4 is 12. 12 minus 2 is 10. 4 times 10 is 40. 40 plus 0 is 40. 4 times 40 is 160. That's correct. So the answer is no. 4 is not a 0 of that polynomial function, 3x cubed minus 2x squared minus 150. Okay? And of course, had we ended up with a remainder of 0, then 4 would have been a 0, the function, and x minus 4 would have been a factor. Okay? Here is a problem where we're going to use synthetic division to find f of -3. Right? So we talked about this. We could just simply substitute x with -3, and we'd have to raise -3 to the 4th power, and we'd have to square -3, and we'd have to multiply it by -4. We don't have to do any of that, because all we need to do is use synthetic division. So I'm carrying the -1, we have a 3. You know what? We have a 0, right? We're missing an x cubed term here. So it goes straight from x to the 4th to x squared. So I'm going to put a 0 in to represent the missing x cubed term. Then we have 3x squared, we have -4x, and we have -5. Okay? And since we're trying to find f of -3, we're going to be dividing here by -3. Let's see what happens. Bring down -1, multiply by -3, that's 3. Add, we get 3. Multiply again, we get -9. This gives us -6. This should give us 18. 18 minus 4 is 14. 14 times 3 is 42, I think. -42. And we end up with -47. Okay? And just because I'm teaching this lesson and I want to be totally sure, 4 times 3 is 12, 1 times 3 is 3, so yes, that is in fact 42. And it's -42. So here we go. We end up with, this is supposed to be f of -3, according to the synthetic division, right? According to the remainder theorem. Let's just check it out. So let's find f of -3 down here just to be sure. Let's substitute, and that should be to the 4th power. Let's substitute -3 for x, and let's see what happens. Okay. plus 3 times negative 3 squared minus 4 times negative 3 minus 5. I don't even like doing this because I don't like raising 3 to the 4th power. It's not that bad, but it's kind of a pain. So negative 3 to the 4th power is negative 81, but it's the opposite of that, so it's positive 81. Negative 3 squared is 9. 9 times 3 is 27. Now I'm feeling like we're not going to get the right answer, so let's see here. Negative 4 times 3 is positive 12 minus 5. That is weird. Negative 1, 0, 3, negative 4, negative 5. Negative 1, 3, 3, negative 9, negative 6, positive 18, 14, negative 42, negative 47. Oh, that's what happened. So this is supposed to be negative 81. Sorry about that. Negative 3 to the 4th is positive 81, and the opposite of that is negative 81. Let's see what happens here. We're going to get negative 81. 27 and 12 is 39. 39 minus 5 is 34. Plus 34. And is it true that that is negative 47? 81 minus 34. Let's check it out. No. That is awesome. Okay, so this is not working out the way I wanted it to. And of course, I'm in the middle of a recorded lesson, so this is just awesome. Let's see here. Negative 81, negative 3 squared, 9 times 6, 27, 12 minus 5. That's 39 minus 5, which is 34, and negative 81 plus 34. This is a 7. Yes, this works out. Okay, so negative 47. Sorry about that, folks. A little bit nervous up here in front of the camera, but yeah, there it works out. Okay, so it turns out this is exactly correct. Synthetic division works. We can see that because we get the same result. And sorry about my cell phone. I'm just getting dinged here by some resident faculty. Anyway, that's it, folks. So that's your lesson. Here's tonight's homework, homework 32. And I will see you tomorrow, and I can answer any questions you have about synthetic division in class on Tuesday. All right, take care.